10, 19, 22, and I'm at 21. That's effing annoying. Let's take a Shaman. Shaman's cool. Let's take a Shaman Hunter, maybe? I don't know. Maybe we get a lot of burn spells. We can gain some life. Hunter with life gain. That's kind of cheat, right? I love Awakening Tremors. I think that card's great. I love bunches of bananas. Was the change made? What was the change made for wild seeds? I gotta say, I hate how Snap shows who flips first. I look at the beginning of the turn, but it switches a few seconds later. And that loses me a lot of games, yeah. It is a little delayed, huh? The wild seeds all got nerfed. They were all much better when they first came out. To the Boonies server. We're gonna be on the Boonies server today. It's like a waveform. There's some elemental synergy, and it's a 3 mana 5/6 at the end of the day. Mob, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I like Piercing Shot. Piercing Shot's kind of cool. Obligatory Senjin offered every draft for some reason. Let's go High Main. I'm not so sure a second Walking Fountain's even that good. I think just curving out and having a Nimbus might be better. Plus it can give us a Walking Fountain. Would love a Nimbus, but man, Whack-A-Null just feels so good. Alright, I'm gonna take the Hammer and feel a little bad. Marked Shot, that's fun. So we could take the Singer, which I like if I'm pulling Hunter Secrets, which I currently don't have. Conductivity on Piercing Shot just turns it into a collateral damage. 6 mana collateral damage. Remember that card? That's crazy. And it's targeted too. You could pick which ones you want to hit. That's crazy. Banana's probably okay. Mark Shot's pretty good. Let's take it. The Hammer helps you snowball for sure. I am building my collateral damages. I got really excited because I saw a legendary, and then I remembered that you never get any good or interesting legendaries. Maybe it's just Samuru. It's good with bananas. Could be good with the Whack-A-Null. I think they all suck, so that's cool. Freezing Trap. There's no Demon Hunter. There's no Death Knight hero power, which makes Freezing Trap exponentially worse. Let's take it. And take the Containment Unit, just a big shitter. I think the Jewel of N'Zoth is in. This would be a pretty good Jewel of N'Zoth deck with High Main, Containment Unit, maybe one more fat Death Rattle. Absolutely love Shockhopper. I think Horde is good too, honestly, because Mage and Hunter are pretty good, and Mage in particular is so common, but grab that. Grab Aerosmith, which is great. I like Crash of Thunder. It's a little harder to get the discount, right? I guess we could Jam Session and kill people with Conductivity, potentially. Deadly Shot, sure. Yeah, Banjosaur's cute, but he also kind of sucks. Let's take the Big Dragon. I'll take Myth Runner, which is serviceable. I think Observer of Myths is quite strong. Play like a Meeting Stone, Observer, and then you play like 2 of these, and just kind of like win the game on the spot. Tonk. Tonk's kind of cool. It's a good Jewel of N'Zoth deck. I'll just take him. Chat loves Tonk too, right? You take Ectoplasm over Bloodlust. Bloodlust is kind of a cute card too, but our curve is actually not great. We still need a couple of cheap cards. Let's grab a High Main though. Open the Cages or a Bronze Gatekeeper? Probably just the Gatekeeper. It's not a great card, but it's a card you can play, not be too embarrassed, right? How many Overload cards do we have? Let's say 1, 2, 3. I mean, an active Flow Rider is 8 times better than either of these cards. A Sunscale Raptor is only good if you play it like on 1, then Frenzy, then draw the Raptor like immediately, right? I guess we'll just take Flow. We could also pick up like maybe 1 or 2 more Overload cards. It's possible. Grab a Tar Creeper, which is reasonable. Grab an Argus, which sucks. And finally, which of these sucks the least? They all suck a lot. I'll take a Grim Necromancer. Observer of Myth is amazing, especially if you can get the 1 mana 4/1 minions. Yeah, we have one already. Yeah, I don't know. Deck seems good. Let's see how many Infinitizes or Titans we get hit by, right? That's 2 consecutive games that I lost by misreading the turn indicator. Hee hee. Hey, how do you feel about that Nico card? Is she good? I don't know what Hearthstone or Arena is. I just watch Redbeard. Well, you sound like a man that wants to download the Ant game. Play the Shrimp. We are still sponsored by Ant Legion. Ant Legion Swarm Edition. Swarm It's got a longer name. Kind of forgot some of it. But if you download it and get your queen to level 5, they can give us, as I mentioned, $4 for every person that does it. 40 people have done it, which means that's $160 extra in Redbeard's pocket. How long does it take? Legit, you could do it in 5 minutes or less. A lot of people take like 8 or 9 minutes, but you can definitely do it faster than that. He completely changed how Tony and the Jailer work, so they could unban them barely a year after they were released. Perhaps stop releasing bad cards. Imagine actually playtesting with any capability before you release something. Like Magic the Gathering went through this really long period of like, because they don't really have the option to nerf things, right? Like once you release it, it's released. You have the choice to like restrict it or ban it, and that's it. You can't rewrite them. Hearthstone has this great luxury of having the ability to like rewrite the cards, and I think as a result they just get, I think that's a huge contributing factor to why they're so lazy, and I think it's a huge contributing factor to why the game is as bad as it is at times. Because if you know that you always have the capability of just like, you know, oh, I put a 5 on here, I can change it to a 4. It stops you from realizing that you need to put a 4 on in the first place, right? But Magic went through this big period, this long period of almost never banning things. They have, you know, recently they've had some slip ups, but I thought that was like a great sign of some level of, you know, accountability, I guess. I guess I'll never buff anything again, huh? That's fine though. That's fine. As a Hearthstone nerd who is a stick up the butt often about arena, see in duels, you get to be in control of the first 16 cards. Everybody flips, figuring out which to shove in. Unlike arena, duels has free casual mode, so you can experiment. But then you still get to have the maddening arena experience of figuring out buckets and random offerings. It's a perfect blend. Too bad, small indie company. I'm going to shut up now. I support your stream. Yeah, I mean, yeah, what exactly is being said? Sorry. This is the exact situation you talked about. 0-2 into 1-4 into 3-4-1s. Yeah, I did talk about that. Unfortunately, I went second, so that means I don't get to do any of those things. But we did talk about that, yeah. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna get back up to full health. Get the queen to level 5. Yeah, don't forget, get the queen to level 5. So in this game, Dr. Sauceman, if you talk about the Ant game, they give you a bunch of resources, right? So they give you like items that speed up the building time, and they give you a premium currency that you can use to even faster, like, speed up the building time in the game. So it's too bad. All right, let's play this and this. So if you just do that, you can have the level 5 Ant in like a couple minutes, I'm sure. That was awesome. I think he was saying please play duels. Yeah, I wasn't exactly sure. That was kind of what I sort of thought might be the case, but I wasn't sure. It's a very long message for me to not be sure what the hell's being discussed. Not live on YouTube? No, I have to tweak some stuff. Well, I can't tweak anything. I have to like, I think what we'll do is probably do fewer streams, but some streams on YouTube. The thing is, YouTube means if we simulcast on YouTube, I run a lot of things that separate like all the tracks on Twitch. It took a long time, and I run like 19 programs so that we can hear the game audio in the VODs, but not the music, and that you can hear like the vocal tracks on certain things. And simulcasting on YouTube basically means that none of those work. The program we use just like negates all of those things. So it means like the music is in. So if a single like DMCA song slipped in, then we could be held accountable for it. If it means that if we wanted to upload a video to YouTube, we can't monetize them because there's like even royalty-free music can like trigger those things so that you can't monetize it, but you don't get in trouble. So it's just like, I'd have to like not play any music. I don't want to do that every night. They give you enough to get to level 5 really fast. Just use all the premium currency. Yeah. Yeah. No, and if you know, of course, I'm not saying everybody download the game and do this in 5 seconds to help Redbeard and then never play it. If you maybe you decide you really like the ant game and you're like, wow, look how fast I can build things. This is awesome. Maybe you keep playing. But just to get the ant queen to level 5 that you can do really fast, yeah, you can just use the stuff. Internet cut out. What do I do to get the queen to level 5 in a few minutes? Yeah, there you go. They should give you more money. If someone could get an orange ant, because the RNG of getting it is even harder than counting for Hearthstone Lethal. Well, they do give me money for an orange ant, but you can also just buy the orange ant for $5. I'm not saying you have to, but the point is somebody buys it for $5, they give me $12. So I don't feel obligated, but I don't know how you get the orange ant otherwise. Maybe it's like impossible. How much time do you think I've been playing Fleet Command? None. I grind the games for you and no other reason. Hey, this is different. This is different. This game is centered around ants. So it's got a very unique, you know, it's very different. Ant centric. So maybe you're what's this person who studies bugs? Endo what's a bug scientist? We're not doing predictions. I think the predictions are already live. I think there's some right now. If you were an entomologist, yeah, I thought those were those donuts they put in the little white boxes at the supermarket. I thought those were the donuts. My mistake. If you were planning on donating a $5 to Mr. Reg, darn well buy yourself an orange ant. Yeah, now, not everybody, but most people don't donate a $5 to Red, which is totally fair and understandable. But those who maybe were planning on that, I'm just saying they turn that $5 into a Andrew B. Garfield $12 bill. A myrmecologist is the study of ants. What is the study of pants? If I win the lottery, I will pay Red and Dreads to become Hearthstone Duels pros, and they will probably single-handedly revive the game mode. Picture Daddy Warbucks. Any situation except an idiot and a streamer. I would love to do more things for money. If anybody wants to sponsor a Duels run, I'll be happy to engage. What did they give you for an orange ant, Red? $12. We've already got one. Gen Z bought one. And he spent $5, and we got 12. And frankly, that's pretty good. Yesterday, somebody did this against me. And then they put one banana on, and then they hero powered. And then I killed their minion, and I was so thankful they didn't put 3 bananas on, because I would have lost the game on the spot. By putting the 2 bananas on, you still get the 2 damage from the hero power. Only now you have a minion that, necessitates a pretty quick answer. A pimricologist. So a mimricologist and a pimricologist would be a guy who studies ants in his pants. Makes sense. Imagine conductivity plus piercing shot, 3/1 health minions. That's collateral damage, baby. That's Hearthstone, baby. It ain't chocolate. It's doo-doo, baby. Could have traded it. In retrospect, I would have been happier had I traded it. I really want to hold Matt.
For the master.
Maybe. What's up, Hoots? How are the Calgary Flames doing? How are our hockey teams doing? The Kings, the noble and benevolent Los Angeles Kings, are 3-2-1. Not bad. The Flames, are not doing too hot. I'm not trying to be a shitter. I'm just throwing that out there. They got booed off the ice tonight. That's not good. You don't want to be booed off the ice. As far as I can recall. That ain't what you want. One mana, give your hand, deck, and battlefield 25 attack. That's not good for me. Alright, let's take this while we got it. The Bruins lost in overtime after blowing it to the Ducks. And they're 6-0-1. Well, let's hope that the Bruins just keep winning and then lose in the first round of the playoffs like last year, right? Whew. That would be good for all of us. I think we'd all appreciate that. I remember playing a game called Ants in the Pants as a kid. It's such a cool spell. That was cool for us. No taunt? Wait. It's fine if he gets a taunt. Hey, you know what? Happy Hollows in. Ants in the Pants is a classic. Having ants in your pants must be up there for one of the most uncomfortable experiences you can have as a human. Has anybody here ever had a substantial amount of ants in their pants? I somehow sincerely doubt it. And I would imagine if anybody has, they probably did it deliberately and they probably enjoyed the sensation. Probably Sly might be one of them. Gosh, I hope not. I can recall a time when I was climbing on a hill. I have. Well, somehow that doesn't completely surprise me. I remember a time when I was a kid and I was climbing on a hill with my dad and my brother. And I remember there was like a giant beetle crawling on me. And I probably was like 4 years old or 5 maybe. I remember my dad saying, "Hey, you got a giant beetle on you." And I thought he was like fucking with me. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, "No, really, you got a giant beetle on you." And I looked down, there was like a giant beetle on me. And then I screamed and I threw it. And I only have like 6 memories from when I was a kid, but that's one of them. Once an ant bit my sack. So I kind of got oral from an ant. I don't think that counts. I am not going to count that. We chose a daif tree for tag, and that tree had fire ants nesting in it. They all crawled on me and then bit me all at the same time. Oh my god. Daif tree. Okay, I didn't know if this was a type of tree that harbored ants or something. I drafted 4 legendaries as a hunter and shaman. I went 0-3. A lot of the legendaries aren't very good, just to be fair. Depending on what they were. It looked like I had chicken pox. I think that was pox, right? Not cox. Yeah. What other memories do I have from being a kid? Oh, you know what? If sometimes if you like sit and think, you can kind of remember. You can kind of recall some of your memories, right? Who the hell is that following? Next Gen 85. Thank you for the follow, Next Gen. I play that. I hit one of the ones. I clear the board and then I trade there. I play Jam Session and I trade and I play this guy, and then next turn I have a better buff, right? But then I sort of lose the ability to get a good Sumeru at any point. And then this is after you summon a minion, not after, you know, any of the buffs or any of that stuff. Doesn't matter. Jam Session plus Blade Master's a board clear. Yeah, that's a 6 mana board clear, and it's turn 3. So I don't really have the luxury of using that combination of cards, unfortunately. You can recall memories. That's called remembering. I can recall a memory. I can remember. I remember one time when I was, I don't know how old I was. I was real young though, and I was over at the neighbor's house, and there was like me and the neighbor, and then Virginia Cassavetes, and she had a crush on one of the boys. She was 2 years older than me, and then my brother and then the other neighborhood boys at that guy's house were all 3 years older than me. She had a crush on one of the boys, Sloan Bailey. I just remembered now. Probably haven't thought about him since this moment. Good, not so good. Okay. Maybe there was no way for me to keep my stuff to myself. And she chucked a piece of concrete at him. You know, kids like, I don't know, messing around. Sorry, kind of tailed off. And I don't know, she didn't have great aim and she just wanged me right in the face with it. And I remember my face like swelled up. I couldn't see out of my eye for like a week. Stupid kid. Stupid kid shouldn't be throwing concrete. I was given some dried apple slices. Do you think it's a faux pas to rehydrate them by putting them with oats? I don't think that's a faux pas to do that. I think if you said that you rehydrated them by spitting on them, I think that might have not gone over so well. Not with me, at least. I wouldn't have been a big fan of that. You should have thrown boobs instead. Well, they were probably like 10. So I don't know. They probably didn't have boobs. Probably nobody had boobs back then. When you put it that way. What's the point of a dried apple slice? Doesn't that defeat like half the point of eating a fruit, to eat this nice like juicy fruit? It'll never dry out. No, it'll be permanently dried out. It's like the chicken and the egg. Some sort of quandary. Some sort of conundrum. I think there were too many apples and they had to be dealt with. This ain't a frickin' Steven Seagal movie. Or maybe it is. Did he ever fight a mutinous band of apples? Who knows? He's made some real crap in the last 15 years. And in the last 30 years. Dried apricots are the best. Up to level 5, hope it updates. Hopefully. If it doesn't, you're in deep shit. Then you're in deep shit. Oh, Infinitize. You know, I'm going to bow out gracefully after already having gotten to play against Infinitize a couple times today. With this hand, I think I'll just bow out gracefully and not exacerbate my frustration with Hearthstone by playing a 40-minute game against an Infinitize I can't beat. Did you ever listen to the Steven Seagal album? No, but I'll tell you what I did listen to. A very underrated 80s action film album.
Knowledge is power.
You're in for a treat, my friend. And you, without cheating, have to guess who it is. If you can, okay? If you know, we might be friends. Thank you to another level 5 ant enjoyer. Very cool. I may have not chased off 2 asshole bullies in middle school by making a whip out of a willow branch. I chased them down the street, tagging them with my whip as they screamed and ran. They never bullied my friend and I ever again. They probably enjoyed it. You probably created some sort of... I gotta be quiet so Charles can get this. But you probably created a fetish for them.
We will feed on this world.
One of the Rockies. No.
Gotta keep them tuned.
You're not alone when you have a friend by your side. Is this Jackie Chan? I hate you. How did you know that?
I will not
Okay, did you know that because I've played it before, or could you discern that was Jackie Chan? Either way, impressive. I'm proud of you. That was Jackie Chan. I whack it, it goes to 2, then he heals it, then it goes to 4. Thank you, man. Everybody's getting their queen to level 5. I really appreciate it, guys. It takes like... How long did it take you, Dr. Sauceman? Did it take you 5 minutes? Was that an honest assessment? Sounded like an Asian guy, but I didn't know if I was being racist. You were, and it was. So you get a moderate pass. Whack here. Goes to 3. I hit there. Nothing dies. So I guess I have to whack here. And then I deal 2 in this one. Yeah, it was Jackie Chan. 5 minutes is accurate? Cool. I doubt it. The bud was always a bully-free zone after that because the bullies feared me. All I had to do was say their name and they would immediately stop. I like the life you live. It sounds like kind of like a movie or like a cartoon of some kind. Alright, lose health. Lose health. Extra 1 damage. Darn it. Alright, let's take it now. The next spell you cast also targets adjacent minions. Easy rank up. Took me about 10. I just did it. I was 43. Hey, thank you, kid. Thank you, man. Like I said, $4 for everyone they do. I'm gonna spend. I'm just gonna take the money we get from the bonus. I'm gonna buy myself something. I don't know what. I'm gonna buy myself like a treat, like a big cookie. And then I'm gonna eat it. Then I'm gonna get a stomach ache. One of them did DM me last year, very drunk, and told me he wished he kissed me. So you may be right. Wish you kissed me while whipping me. I don't know. I kind of got an understanding of the weirdos out there. Should I have swung? I probably should have swung, actually. But I guess a buff here is not bad. A buff here or a buff here would actually be pretty good. Whereas a buff here is not so good. But what we could have done is played this, then swung, and guaranteed we got a buff on one of those two. I didn't want to trade in case he got like a poison, then it would be kind of bad for me. Darn it. People don't drunk DM me as much as they could. I'll DM you. A crumble cookie? I haven't had a crumble cookie in a long... I've gotten them like 3 times. It's just the sort of thing that I don't have a lot of motivation to get for myself.
No one's going to believe this.
But if there's like a lady involved and she wants cookies, then it's a good way to get like a big cookie to split, you know? It's a good splitting cookie. But it always takes me like 4 days to eat half of a crumble cookie. They're not that big, but I just like a little piece, you know, here or there. You don't have a sweet tooth like us? I like it. I just like it in moderation. I just kind of feel bad if I eat like a whole... I already eat so poorly. Like eating a giant cookie is just like... It's too much. That's rather unfortunate how he played 1 card and then won the game. Guess it's possible I could get like bananas or something. Oh no, not bananas. Guess I take this. Could draw cards, but this is pretty reasonable. Any target other than the Divine Shield is good. As a trick or treating kid, what were your top 3 and bottom 3 candies? Bottom 3 was like Smarties, like Nerds, and maybe like Starburst. I don't really like fruity and I don't really like gummy candies. Honorable mention to like a Whopper, probably. Whoppers were pretty dog do. Top 3 for me were probably Kit Kat, Twix, and Kit Kat, Twix. Maybe like a it's not quite lethal. Puts him to 1 and then he heals back. But I guess it stops the freezing from getting completely kecked. Maybe like a Nestle Crunch. I kind of like Nestle Crunch, although I feel like Nestle Crunch is kind of like a C- tier candy. But as a kid, I think I liked them. Reese's are goated. I didn't like peanut butter in my candy. I liked peanut butter like straight out of the jar and still do. I don't buy it because I can't eat that much peanut butter. And I'll like take like 4 spoonfuls and then I just won't touch it again for 5 years. But I don't really like to mix peanut butter in my like treats. Maybe I'd like it more now. As a kid, I didn't like it. I only have Reese's and Hershey bars this year, middle of the pack. I like a Hershey bar. It's very middle of the pack, but you kind of can't go wrong with a Hershey bar, right? There's one house in my neighborhood that always gave out a king-size candy bar, and we ran to that house first. Yeah, we had one house in the neighborhood that I remember did king-size bars. And I don't know, thinking back, it's like, how much money were you spending? Because you can buy like a big, like back then, you could buy like a big bag of candy for like $6. That would, you definitely couldn't give out all the candy if you gave out like 1 or 2 pieces to every person that came to you. But like a full-size candy bar, like a box of 12, probably costs $12. It probably cost you $50-$60. I guess that's not that much. Now maybe you're like an older retired family or like couple with no kids or something, or your kids graduate and you're like, yeah, fuck it. Get all these kids coming over and getting excited and they won't egg our house. That's cool. M&Ms are always good. Ooh, you know what? I'll put M&Ms over Nestle Crunch. It's kind of cheating because you can get like 9 different M&Ms. But I think of plain M&Ms I liked as a kid. I like them frozen though. I like most of my chocolate frozen. You can't freeze a Twix bar. You'll break your goddamn teeth. But frozen Kit Kats, frozen M&Ms, frozen Hershey bars. Do you have any memorable costumes? I'm gonna be a giraffe this year. I was Batman one year as like a 12 or 13-year-old. And I must have been even younger, maybe like 11 or 12, because I wore it to middle school. They let you wear costumes. It was before high school. And I remember people were like, oh, okay. And it had like kind of like, it was kind of muscly. My most memorable kid costume, I actually, you know, now that you mention it, I kind of can't remember most of them. I'd have to ask my mom or something. But so I'll tell you. So I was in Vegas and I was talking to my brother and sister a lot over the weekend, and we were talking about Halloween costumes at some point. And maybe my sister asked the same exact question, or somebody was broached the subject, right? And my mom's, you know, recently passed friend John Berger, who was the kind of crafty, real handy guy that would come around and help us out, like at the house. He made me a garbage truck, like out of like a cardboard cutout and like paper mache or something, but like you could like slip into it and you could like walk around, and there was like a bed in the back that you could just like put candy in. So like, you know, I walked around and like told people like, hey, you know, put the candy in there. I don't even know if I brought a bag that year, and I'm just walking around. It's like, all right, you know, kids love garbage trucks apparently, or at least I did. And then I wore the costume just, what's this card? I wore the costume just for like probably weeks afterwards. I would just wear the costume around and like pick up, I remember how like being in like daycare, like visiting, like there was a lady that used to watch us while my mom would work, and then just putting, like pillows, like putting her pillows in my garbage truck and just like carrying them around. That was like my activity. Pretty sick costume. Yeah, it was cool. And it wasn't like half-assed. He made amazing stuff. He ended up so he worked in an insurance company with my mom, and they ended the company and they let everybody go. They gave everybody like severance packages, and everybody was like really upset and worried about, you know, their future and stuff. And he ended up starting his own kind of like design company with another guy. And the two of them ended up hiring a couple people, and they would do like these lavish parties, like the Kardashians' birthday party. They would get hired to decorate it. They did he would actually be contracted to set up stuff for like the Grammys and the Emmys, and Oprah's would have parties, like a bunch of celebrities in Southern California. And they had like this big warehouse full of all these really crazy, like intricate things that they had made from scratch or that they had acquired over the years. So he ended up doing quite well for himself and doing something that he enjoyed. So it wasn't like a piece of shit. Like if my dad had made it, it would have, you know, obviously been a piece of shit. You know, my dad was a piece of shit. No, my dad he was a good guy. He's a good guy. But that's the most memorable one. Wonder if you knew how much effort, how much his efforts meant. Oh, I'm sure. So okay, so put a pin in that statement. So my dad made a costume for my brother, maybe even the same year. We were real young, so I was probably like 4 or 5. And I remember, I don't know if my brother asked for this or what. My brother wanted to be Wilson from Home Improvement, the show Wilson from Home Improvement. So instead of what my dad was, my dad like drilled 2 holes. This is legitimate. My dad drilled 2 holes in in like a wooden pallet, like a wooden construction pallet. And then like tied some rope, like weaved some rope through there and like tied it off. And then like he put 2 pallets so that my brother could like be wedged in between these 2 wooden pallets. And I don't know what they weighed, 20 pounds. My brother probably weighed like 45 pounds. And he was just dragging ass for like half an hour, like these ropes digging into his shoulders, like crumpled on the floor. A horrible costume. And I remember we only went out for like 30 minutes because my brother was like in tears because the weight of his costume was crushing him into the dirt. But back to the thing is I had a little stuffed animal. I had a little stuffed animal when I was a kid, and it, you know, it kind of fell apart, you know, from, I don't know, kids. You know, it was an old thing too. I feel like it was kind of old when I got it. My grandma won it in a claw machine when I was like not even a year old. I don't know. I just always had it, and it kind of fell apart. And I remember as a kid, I got photos. Remind me at some point I can go grab them, of John Berger, like creating new outfits for him and replacing parts of him. And like I see the photos, and you just see him like completely exacerbated as he's like slaving away, toiling away over a sewing machine, trying to like, you know, I don't know why he did those things. My sister and my brother and I, we were talking about it in Vegas. Like he was the nicest guy, you know, one of the nicest guys ever. And we just still can't really figure out why he did this, like why he would do these things. And obviously appreciative, but it's just crazy, like how kind he was and how craftsy he was and how willing he was to spend that time. So I have these pictures, and in those pictures I was probably like 6 or 7 of him just kind of, you know, Frankensteining like other stuffed animals and rebuilding this stuffed animal that I had. And I still have the stuffed animal. He redid his outfits like 5 years ago. He redid them like 5 years ago, a second time. Oh yeah, I think so. The point was, I think he knew how much his efforts meant when through my mom. I didn't really talk to him much, right? But my mom and him lost contact for a long time, and then kept contact. You know, got back in contact like over the years. And my mom was like, "Hey, you know, you got to rebuild the stuffed animal a second time." And he actually had the same materials that he used the first time because he just kept everything for his company. He just had like the fabric, like he had like a giant warehouse. It's like, this is the fabric section, this is the custom made paper mache statues, this is the metalworking stuff. Like, I don't know, they had all this weird stuff. What a beautiful human being. Yeah, unfortunately he did pass this year, and it was a big shock. He was probably, I don't know, I guess he must have been in his early 60s. I don't actually know exactly how old he was, but it was real sad. Real sad time. My mom and him, were obviously the closest, so she took it pretty hard. But she was pretty sad because they were in, when you get older,
You're both number
20, 30, you kind of like, you're not talking to your friends every day anymore. You're not seeing them every day. But like sometimes your real close friends, you'll still talk to like once a month or whatever. And she, she was still talking to him, but he was actually hospitalized, and she didn't know. And then he passed in the hospital, and she didn't know. And his sister knew that my mom and he were, friends. And she actually was in and, let her know. Rip to a real one? Yeah. Yeah.
You will not come closer.
Total bummer. Dying sucks. But, it's going to happen to us all. And I will say, like to Sauceman's point, that legacy is definitely sticks with me, and maybe now it sticks with you guys a little bit too, right?
The calm before the storm.
Got your memories to hold him in the meantime. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. Seems like an awesome dude. Yeah, he really was. But just a real unique guy. Like, an awesome dude for me most of the time is like somebody that plays video games or watches hockey with me or whatever. Like, those would be like 99% of the awesome dudes that I feel like I've met in my life. But he just had like such a unique personality and such a unique skill set, and still simultaneously qualifying in the awesome dude category, right? Anyway, sorry if I hope that wasn't like too much of a bummer. I don't really get too sad, like, was a reference to Halloween costumes and good memories and stuff. I think it's double trade this shitter. Play this. It's not very good. Oh god, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna double trade this shitter. Damn, that poison minion is so good. 3 mana, kill my 6-drop. And what class? I don't even know what class he is. He's a shaman, I'm assuming. Oh, he's a priest. That's a priest. Discover a Sunwell and kill your 6-drop. Crazy. I'm happy my question gave such a great return on farts spent. Yeah, I hope, I hope you feel like you got something of value. Watched a great ad about male mental health yesterday. What was the ad? Favorite candy plus a heartfelt chocolate story. Oh, sorry, childhood story. I don't know if I have any great heartfelt chocolate stories. I've got some chocolate stories. I don't know how heartfelt they are. Isn't it a druid skin? Oh, maybe you're right. Sorry, I thought this was a priest card. Yeah, maybe. Oh, baby. Is that a level 5 ant enjoyer? It was. That's great news. That is spectacular news. I can't buff it. I need to be able to buff it. I guess I could get a thing? What does that buy me? Not much. I think I'll just play this. If it let me get like a 4 drop down, well, I think I'd rather hit a minion.
You face Jiraxxus.
Wanted to get you talking about something other than this wretched Hearthstone experience. Well, this run has been okay up until this run, but we had some brief moments of joy, didn't we? That was no longer possible this game once he played a 3 mana 12/12 with Rush. Piercing shot. I mean, there's maybe a way. Unfortunately, I can't get a minion down. Yeah, I think I still want that.
I got soul shot.
I played a barcode DK mage at 3-0 and top deck 3 damage to win against the Scourge. Nice. Honest questions about provide a needed break from Hearthstone, a window into the personality of Redbeard. I'd argue more people enjoy that side of you than the Hearthstone side, but maybe I'm biased. Yeah, I think that there is value in that for sure.
Armor, lightly charged.
God. Almost in a good spot. Next spell you cast. But yeah, I think it is easy to kind of get stuck in the
Just keep casting.
you know, getting frustrated by Hearthstone kind of mentality and stuff. But I like the break too. I like, you know, having the opportunity to not focus on Hearthstone sometimes. If he didn't have the 4 armor, he'd be at 7, and then I could maybe kill him. I missed the stories Red was telling. I had the stream on in the background. I'm very glad. It's such a great space to share. Yeah, well, there'll be more stories. Don't worry. Right now, I mean, we could still talk about stories. I'll simultaneously try to focus on killing this guy with the broken deck. I'm gonna gain another 2. Not totally irrelevant. Fuck me.
They grew up so fast.
God, dang it. So he takes 5, 7. He's at 13. He would have been at 9, so he would have had lethal if he didn't gain 8 health in 2 turns for 2 mana. 21. He has 7.
I wonder.
He has how much? 10, 19, 22, and I'm at 21. That's effing annoying. Just needs to not hit his face. Okay, maybe. I still need some sort of conductivity, like positioning. Most damage I can do here. I'm very happy about that outcome. Very happy about that. Very much indeed. Lovely combo, hell yeah. Did I miss any Ant enjoyers? I feel like I may have. Thank you to everybody who has taken the time to download Ant Legion. I'm just gonna buy myself something nice with any of the money we get. The other money they give us for playing the game, I'm gonna use it to pay my rent. That's the Redbeard guarantee. 6 mana collateral damage. Yeah, we talked about it during the draft. Kind of why we took it, right? Then I think we got offered a 2nd piercing shot, but that's pretty good. I'd like to be personally recognized for my hard work on the Ant game. Thank you very much, Dr. Sauceman. Here's a personal thank for you. Thank you for you. Thanks for you.
The calm before the storm.
Calm before the goddamn storm.
Elements guide me.
Bunny Hopper drafted Premium Barcode yesterday with his first draft. I like Bunny Hopper. He's a nice man. I haven't seen him around as much lately. I don't know if I think he's been streaming less, maybe? Let's see. Darn it.
I can't do that.
Bunny Hopper? It was on yesterday and then 4 days ago. 5, 6 days ago. But some of these streams are only like an hour and a half long. I know he has a child and he's also a very successful, busy streamer. Yeah, he still streams a lot, I think. So what do I do here? Get fucked? It's fine. I hope it did count my level 5. I think so. We got a couple in there. I was telling stories and fighting a hard match, so I may have missed one, but I'm sure it was you. It seemed to count them all. What is he doing here? Okay, not gaining any life. Free trade. Trade 1. Play the 4. I guess I'll play the Wind Fury. He didn't fire sale us like a turn ago. The Divine Shield kind of helps us out. There's a chance what this pushes 6 as opposed to 4. And then with our hero power and our conductivity piercing shot combo, just getting him low enough, we may be able to cheese him out real quick here. Can I ask a stupid question? If you're a Hearth Grandmaster, is that 7-figure income for the year? 6-figure? Oh, these days? I doubt it. Sincerely doubt it, 6-figure. Even for the person who wins, I'm not so sure.
Twice as dead! Twice as dead! Monster!
Now, if you're, you know, Tice or Dog or whatever, you probably have a 7-figure income independent of the Grandmaster. If you're, you know, Dr. Sauceman who qualified for the Masters Tour or whatever today and then got first place at the end of the year, you probably made tens of thousands of dollars. Probably. Bunny Hopper drafted Primus Infinitize, 4 mana, 1 Frost Rune Legendary, and a bunch of premium cards. Well, that's not fair. Does this have lifesteal? Rush, Poison? I wasn't paying attention. If it did have lifesteal, what would I do? I guess I couldn't do anything. I just had to sit. I love Tice. He's a treasure. Yeah, Tice is very nice. I've had the luxury of talking to Tice a few times off stream, and he's always very kind. Sometimes I worry that the very big streamers just won't have the time of day for you. And to a certain extent, I think that is the case. I think it's sort of like the smaller you are. It's like if you have 10 viewers and somebody has 10,000, like they're not really gonna like know who you are. Like if you have 100 and they have 5,000, you know, they're not gonna know. Look at all these fingers. You know, if you have 500 and they have 1,000, then it's like you're kind of like it's a little easier to bridge that. You kind of are more in like a similar world you're living in.
My shield for Argon monster.
If we go face, if it's Ice Barrier and we don't have lethal, then we play Walking Fountain, kill this, throw the other one in here, and then kill that. Has Desi been back? What's the point of a big streamer hanging with you? It's bad for them. Well, hanging with you and answering a Discord message at 2 in the afternoon, those are different things, right? And I didn't even say anybody should do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. But that being said, Tice is a huge streamer and he's been very kind and supportive of me. And as has Crip, not that I talk to either of those guys every day, but every instance I've had of talking to and interacting with either of them, two specifically, has been incredibly positive and supportive. And shout out to those guys for that, because I'm sure they're very busy and, you know, sure they've got other things to do.
Versus the Lich King.
You got self-conscious like a nerd? I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. I'll keep those two. Oh my god, it's 38 right now. 38F. Yesterday I flipped on the heat. Man, I was feeling cozy in here. Might put the heat on again today. He asked you to become a vegan? He did not. He does not push his lifestyle onto others, which is good. People that do that are usually not very pleasant to be around. Which Try to coin that out, but since I rolled a taunt, I think I'll just try to get this trade. I don't think you want to invest so heavily in this card that you're giving up your coin, playing a 2-drop on turn 3. Like, it's just not really worth it. You force them to have it. Was 80F here yesterday in New Jersey? 80F's a good temperature.
Access denied.
Oh, no, it's not. I hate 80F. Absolutely despise 80F. I kind of would like it if it never got warmer than like 71. I don't mind it when it's like 40 or 50. I always say, I think I would dislike it a little more if I like worked outside or if I had to commute a lot in Oregon and it's raining every day. It's kind of scuzzy. But since I just work from home, sometimes I just open the windows or the door, blinds, and I just kind of bask in the gray ambiance. I like that. I really do. I'm gonna do this. I've got the conductivity piercing shot play. If he takes some free trades, it could be pretty lucrative. Could try to like get more buffs when I get more mana. For late October, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I looked up. That sounds like Reseda weather, Southern California. Yeah, it's like 80, high 70s, low 80s. Sometimes it gets even hotter than that in that area. Wonder what Crypt's perception of Hearthstone Arena would be these days. Probably very similar to ours, honestly. You know, frustration and disdain, probably. He's you know, as much as people want to pick on Crip and so on and so forth, he's a really smart guy. He's a really perceptive gamer. He's a very experienced gamer. He knows when things are, you know, good and bad. I think his mentality would probably be very similar to Dread's, with maybe a little fewer outbursts, but like the same sort of like feeling that you're constantly just kind of getting screwed by things that are out of your control, which is a lot of the time what the game is, right? Like that is what the game is. How long has it been since Crip quit Arena? Probably like 3 or 4 years. He's played 1 or 2 times, 2 or 3 times in the last, like, I remember he played when Demon Hunter came out, and he's played at least once or twice after that. We've had a heat wave in the mid-90s every other weekend in SoCal. Sly, you still liking it down there? You still liking the weather and so on and so forth?
No one's going to believe this.
Taking my shot.
I mean, I'm definitely not winning if I'm playing a long game. My assumption is he clears the board and we lose the game this turn. And I would imagine that our odds of winning are higher making this play than like trading here and making a play like that. Would give us like a 5% chance to win this way as opposed to 0, probably something like that. Battlegrounds came out? Yeah, probably. Battlegrounds is 4.5 years old now. I was just thinking they definitely needed more cards that can just clear my board. Like that. That's good. If I hit, he gets his... He gets a 3/6. This way, maybe he has to like throw one in and still lose most of his board anyway. Bugger Lugs, thanks for the 42 months. Bugger Lugs. I'm excited about 1989 Taylor's version. I don't know what those words mean, so not currently. Not currently excited, but thank you, Bugger Lug, for the 42 months. Pretty cool of you. Pretty cool indeed. My dog is sleeping next to me in bed. And she is so cute. When she dreams, she started moving her legs and she starts making noises. Hey, that's nice. Red hates women and their empowerment. No, I don't. I uploaded one of my own my old Halloween costumes to Discord. All right, I'm heading over to Discord so I can take a look at it. Wow, what is that? What is this? Look like a character out of Harry Potter.
For Doomhammer.
Dr. O. Never heard of him. I mean, the card could be good. The problem is buffing this means I'm never going to get any triggers off of it, right? Everybody should do the same, especially, oh, I don't know. Let's pick some random people. Queen Ari, Red Zesty, Poet, Tasney, to upload their Halloween costumes. Sarge liked his extra pats from you guys. Oh, man. That guy loves pats. It's hard to be kind in this world, is it? I feel like it's easy to be kind.
Going to believe
And it's harder to be like cruel. It's easy to be stupid. Isn't it really easy? You just like, I don't know, don't tell people what to do. Don't yell. Don't slam doors. Very difficult to be stupid. Is it? It's very easy to improve your knowledge over time and treat people with respect. I played that and then buff once. Is that good?
I swear I saw it.
I don't know. I've never find being kind to be that hard. I think sometimes I opt to be like casually indifferent towards people. If they're like really annoying sometimes.
Wind and brass, blown away. I swear I saw it.
I'll just it's hard out there for people. Yeah, but it's hard because people aren't kind, right? It'd be easier if more people were kind, I think. It's like we make it harder for ourselves sometimes.
Magical might in the spotlight.
My blade seeks vengeance. I hear and obey. I swear I saw it.
Buffing up the Wind Fury would be kind of nice, but man, I just got this again, right? Like, that's my key. That's the critical component. Being kind to mean people is pretty hard to do. But being kind in general is easy. Yeah. That's true. Like, if somebody's, like, over here, like, bullying me, I'm not going to be like, hey, you know, settle down. You know, I'll be like, you know, you're an idiot. I hate you. I hate you, dude.
I hear and obey.
They ever dead here? I don't actually know.
Blown away. I swear I saw it.
The devil shivers when Redbeard gets angry. There's so much anger and darkness in the world. Why not bring a little light and kindness instead? Sounds like a Lord of the Rings quote. I'm all for it. Yeah. I don't know. People have different mentalities, right? I think it's just the people who have like a mentality that kind of actively make things worse for people a lot of the times. Like that mentality sometimes is what it takes to have a lot of power in the world, right? It's like me, I'm pretty laid back and I'm pretty indifferent and I like to be pretty kind to people. I'm not the kindest person, but you know, that some combination of that stuff. But as a result, like I can only impact a very small amount of people or no people because I just like sitting around doing nothing. And then other people are jerks and then they start wars and then they kill people and that stinks, man. Those are the people you should be kind to, kill them with kindness. Yeah, I don't know. I like if I'm at the supermarket and somebody's like hooting and hollering, like I'll usually just give them like one of these. Like I'll just be like I don't really care, you know. And they're like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, look, no, I already said I don't care. I'm not gonna care more when you get more upset. I don't care. Now I'm leaving. Goodbye. I really get like upset. Sometimes I show my exasperation for sure. I want to taunt, not the 2/4, right? I want to keep his attack as low as possible and also protect him from removal spells. Do people actually hoot and holler at you? Not at me, but sometimes in the vicinity of me. Sometimes I get caught in the crossfire, but not often. Not often. But, you know, I'm preemptively, you know, like, you know, yeah. Like when I worked at Target, people would come in and they'd be like really pissed off sometimes over about something really trivial. And then like somebody else who worked there would get frustrated and would get pissed off. And then they would like, the two of them would escalate their frustrations. And then when I was a manager, they'd call me over and like, you know, you're coming over to somebody who's already pissed off. So I'd just be like, hey, you know, how are you? What's going on? And they're really pissed off. I'm like, look, I'm not gonna engage in this type of silliness. So here's the things I can do and the things I will do. And that's it. Like, these are your options. But you can shut up. You know, which is one I would like. Do I still get the buff here? No buff? It's like a scam. Yeah, these days, yeah, I guess fewer hooting, fewer hollering. When was the last time you got hooted at? I don't know. Probably like an ex-girlfriend or something. Probably an ex-girlfriend. I just have to hit a taunt. And then I like this. Because if I overload this turn, I can't high main. I want to have the option to high main. But like things like that, like I don't know, if I'm dating somebody and they're getting mad, they're usually like, you know, getting mad, and I'm usually like, hey, I'd appreciate it if you didn't yell at me. I don't really like getting yelled at. Throwing in the sexual towel and calling it a day. My students spend more time sexually retreating. What's sexually retreating? I just leveled up my queen to level 5. Enjoy the $4. Thank you, Grev. Look forward to cashing that $4 check. When I worked at Target during Christmas or Black Friday, I wore an old employee's name tag with a different name on it, so if I got any write-ups, it was for Vanessa instead of me, the poor woman living on the streets after getting fired for Red Zesty's misbehavior. Hey, you know, it had to be done. It's gotta be lethal, right? It's the opposite of sexual advance, so like going backwards, like, or doing it upside down, maybe. Do you get cranky when you see Asian symbols as a player's name in Arena? Not so much. I hide people's names because it was making me very frustrated starting a match and knowing you were playing against somebody who purchased their account. I have my very accurate suspicions more often than not when you see the portraits and the card backs and the quality of the decks and the lack of golden cards, but I can at least play the games and give the benefit of the doubt. And then if I win, it doesn't matter, and I'm not so petulant. And if I lose, sometimes I don't bother looking, which is nice. It doesn't compound. But you know, if I see a jumble of characters like consonants and stuff, then it's like, you know, no doubt. And it's really, you know, if that's my opponent, then it's like I get more frustrated more quickly. Because there is a chance that there are just some players with Chinese names that are playing legitimately, and again, you can usually have a pretty strong inkling of whether or not they're legit or whether they're just insanely lucky. Also still kind of frustrating, but it scales. I feel like in the last month or two, I've done a better job. Maybe you disagree, but I feel like I've done a better job of being more even-keeled when it comes to Hearthstone, letting less of that stuff kind of get to me, because it was really frustrating me for a while. Save file. Speaking of frustrating me, how are you? What the heck are you up to?
Job's done.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the raid. Vanilla card back is the best card back. Yeah, they love that vanilla card back. Or that one you get right at the start of the battle pass. Not sure why I didn't get the Queen level 5 notification yet. You did it through our link, I'm assuming? You did it through this one or the QR code? Ant Legion Redbeard?
These are due back tomorrow.
Are you on an iPhone by any chance? Sometimes the iPhone instances take a little bit longer.
From the shadows.
Turned me into a 1/1.
Access denied.
Never changed my ninja card back since it came out. What's a ninja card back? Jade one? I'm on an iPhone. I scan the QR code on the top left. My hope is that it registers shortly for us.
From the shadows. From the shadows.
Too poor? Motherfucker. Gosh darn it, that went poorly. I was testing for Oh My Yogg. If it wasn't Oh My Yogg, we had a really clean turn. If we hit the other one, we had a pretty clean turn. We could have pushed 3 and not taken any damage. Oh well. Got a 12 with Tess today. Shadow stepping herself over and again. Due to the Hunter primary, that's fun. I haven't had Tess at all. I love Tess though. I've been doing this to people, save conductivity and piercing shot, building my own collateral damages, and we've won like 3 or 4 games just dealing like 15 damage to people. So that's been pretty cool. Haven't been able to find too many particularly interesting combinations, but that's one that has bore fruit. Is that a word? Bore fruit? Bared fruit? Deadly, not too bad here. Shock Shitter, not too bad. Pack the house for next turn. He doesn't get a card here, is that correct? No card. Hey Lana, good to see you. I don't know if we shouted out save, I'm assuming we did. If we got any people who are not familiar with Save File 17 here, he is a phenomenal Hearthstone arena player. Good friend of the stream. 3, 4. You guys should definitely check him out. He has glasses and a red beard, and he has glasses, a beard, red hair. I mean, I know you guys don't normally like that type of content, but maybe a exception can be made for him. If he likes Simpsons, you can give him Simpsons quotes. He'll know them. That's personal enough. Red and save, lurking while I get ready for work. You should quit that job. A lot of people say he's kind of like the afternoon Redbeard. I've heard that. I could see that. So we have 9. I'm frozen, which blows. But I can push 6, and he cannot gain life, which doesn't blow as much. Did I do that right? You did. You did that perfect. Thank you so much. That's a huge help. Because I think people should just, you know, should get themselves familiar with Save File 17. Save lets you burn your channel points in Rage. That is good. He's a purveyor of rage. That's right, I still got it. Still got it. What is that from? Still got it. What episode of The Simpsons is that from? I haven't done shout out in a couple of years. It's very helpful. Where do I get that extra 2 damage? Piercing shot, maybe. I could actually piercing shot my own guy, even if he doesn't have a target for us. Let's do that. Red Zesty's getting rid of the rustiness with the commands. Yeah, no rust. Have any healing in his hand? I guess Desperate Measures could stop a if it's a 1 turn my guy into a 1/1. I want to play this one. We're throwing it away, but fine. I'm gonna play this one too, and I'm not gonna play another card because it could be Galloping Savior. I don't want it to get an extra minion on board. It might be the difference between an extra turn or not. No rush, no lifesteal. Maybe it was better to not play anything? I wonder. And where did that come from? From the Time Lost Proto Drake? Or no, from the Bronze Explorer? Maybe it was better to play nothing there. No. No. Getting minions on board, again, might mean the minions just kill him. You might be able to kill him through like an Anoia module. Or Anoiatron, or whatever that card's called. You might be able to force him to trade and use a spell. And then if he has like a heal, you can maybe have an extra turn to hero power. You're just not taking an extra like 3 or 6 damage maybe. It's definitely better. Because like there's no guarantee he got that card. And if he got it, like he did, there's certainly no guarantee that he gets rush or lifesteal. Or rush and lifesteal. So I think that's what I got to say about that. Scan the QR code on the top left, not the one in the link. Maybe that's why I didn't register. I think the QR code should be fine. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. A lot of people have counted. I'm holding out hope. Let me watch this. We're at 45. Sometimes I can refresh it. Okay, it doesn't appear to have changed anything. Maybe it's not. I've placed 99 red balloons in my guild hall for my party and hidden 7 balloons of other colors for my party. I just have 1 left to hide. And then I can work on a racetrack. Wow, what kind of party? Is Taz gonna go to the party? I hope so. I hope. Maybe she'll stream it.
Let the blight begin.
Maybe Taz will stream it, and we can raid Taz, and we can see Bert's party. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? A reminder of it tomorrow. When's the party? Is it Halloween? Remember, Halloween's a different day for her. I haven't seen her much today, or heard from her. But I think it's Friday for her, right? So she's not supposed to work on Fridays, but sometimes she does.
Feel that healing beat.
So I'm hoping she's just working. I'm hoping she's just working, actually. I used the QR link and it worked fine. Okay, let's hope maybe somebody else can try to do the ant thing just to see if it's still counting. And if a bunch of people are like, hey, it does look different than the one on the screen. Well, somebody else try the ant, and then if it registers, we know it's still working. And then we know that maybe Grev. Maybe something went awry, who knows. Not his fault, you know, maybe.
I swear I saw it!
I swear. I wish she still felt like streaming, but I'm glad she still hangs out in chat. Yeah, that poor lady. Sometimes she, you know, she gets uncomfortable. Sometimes I think that she thinks that people don't want to watch a smoking hot babe play video games, but I would argue they do in fact seem to have a penchant for that type of content.
I swear I saw it!
Grev and Bread getting scammed. Well, thank you for taking the time to do it, even if it doesn't yield $4 US currency for me. I appreciate you trying to support the stream in that way. It means a lot, Grev. It means more than $4. Now, having $4 as well, that'd be cool too. Sorry, just watching Redbeard while on the pillow, heating pad snuggled under his own blanket. Wow, that guy's living a good life. Wow, gotta love Sarge. You know what I could have done actually was Meeting Stone Banana instead of a hero power. That could have been good. The banana might be of more value somewhere else, though. That's a great photo of him. I gotta put some emojis under it. Not enough emojis under some of these things. Some of these photographs. Let's see. Let's do this one.
A little healing goes a long way.
I love him. Oh yeah, that's clear. And how could you not? A guy like that, as sweet as him, you kind of gotta love him. All right, I put a dog under there. Okay, hold on, I got one. What the hell is that? Let's put a blanky one, and then let's put like a... Oh, how about this one? Let's throw... No, I like this one. I'm gonna throw that one in there. Okay, what's happening? He arcane intellects, his guy dies. He says oops. It's so unfair that Jesse can be one of the funniest and most caring people in chat. I don't really see how that's fair, that he gets to be those things. Pick one lane. Pick one or the other, I say. Like, look at Poet. He's so funny, but not caring at all. Also somewhat kind of evil. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Let's push all this. Getting him ever closer to piercing shot range. He actually is in piercing shot range with our tremors. I'm funny. You're a pretty funny guy. You're sort of like the music guy. You're sort of the music guy in chat. Knowledgeable on music is like... Okay, everybody just type something and I'll say my first thought about you. Like how I
Can you feel the gift of the sun?
how you guys like... I envision you guys, the first thing. You know what I mean? Is this making sense? Appa, I already know what you're thinking. You're the Genshin guy. You're the Genshin guy who likes whiskey. Okay, and some of you guys are going to skip if I don't have anything. Bert, you're the, you're like a Guild Wars, like, art guy. You're like an artistic Guild Wars guy. Rip Fat Boy. Why Rip Fat Boy? Charles, you're the traveling businessman. Is kind of like how I see you. Do me again. You're the music guy, and the poker guy. If you're two things, you're the music and the poker guy. Marmal, you're I'm sorry, this might sound rude. You're the sub gift guy. You're the guy who gives subs. One of the guys that gives subs sometimes. Poet, you are some sort of sycophant. Sly, she's like, she's the Goonies lady from Southern California. Gesticulate, he's one of my oldest and dearest friends, and a history professor. Do me, Arinador, you're a guy whose name sounds kind of like a Lord of the Rings character. It's pretty accurate. I call myself a gun-toting hippie. What are we doing? I'm just giving you guys descriptions of yourself based off of my experiences with you. It's just a thing to do. If you don't like it, well,
No
I understand.
one's going to believe this.
I'm the guy getting subs. You're the guy who I'm not sure if you're from Pennsylvania or Turkey, and I forget oftentimes. That feel when you literally hear every day and Red doesn't recognize you. You can ignore me, but you can't take me away from your window. Steve is the guy that I think sometimes is mean to me, but I can't remember. There's Steve Time and Steve Yorker, and I think that like one is nice and I think one is mean. I can't quite remember. Or like they're both kind of nice and kind of mean sometimes, but also kind of funny. I think they're both good guys. But I sometimes forget like who's who, to be completely honest with you. I'm from Colombia. Okay, that's close. Anybody else need one? Got enough info on me? Eat me raw. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't really know. Where are you from? What kind of sports do you like? I'm sorry for not having that much. Was that forged? Was not. It was forged. No, it was not forged. Okay, that's a big deal. I like to meme the streamer. Okay, you're a memer. History professor at Harvard, engaged in many collaborations with Western Bovine U. You should interview lower volume posters on stream once a week. I'm not a slur. No, that's not a slur. A Lord of the Rings character? It's a noble fantasy character. Norway sport? What's that? Not my thing. Okay, well I know you're from Norway. What is your thing? What is your thing?
Gotta keep 'em tuned.
Hearthstone Arena, maybe? I'm the guy that would troll dreads about meditating. Is that you? I thought that was you. So did you used to be Dreads' balls? I always forget. Is that like not common knowledge? Was that your old account? Were you like Vicuna or you had like a V name or something at some point too, right? I don't really remember some of this stuff. I don't want to overload here. I guess I'm gonna take the trades and let's take the dude. There's some dude synergy. Dreads' balls was Varutza, wasn't it? I think that's Ziv. To be fair, a lot of us are forgettable unless you have huge bazookas or a bank account to match. I do like bazookas, which I'm assuming means a woman's breast. What's up, Bang? Okay, I wasn't sure exactly what was happening here. It does appear as though I get to kill the Titan, which is nice. Lurking in your chat. I was an eternal student until recently I got my master's degree. Good to be done with studying. That is good. I'm happy for you. I'm less happy about this. But maybe, too greedy? I'm gonna pretend like I thought it was +4.
That was a mistake.
I'm gonna pretend like I thought it was +4. I try to push it right away. He can't resist it. There's no way. It's too, Drake? Nah, then you just give him an 8 drop. Freezing trap kills stuff, doesn't it? 9? I can shoot and trade and then maybe still be in a spot here. If he attacks, we're golden. He might. He might. I mean, look how enticing that is. It's lethal. Lethal. I used to be Big Baguette. No, you didn't.
That's incredible.
That was incredible. That was good. Oh, that's pretty nice. Is that lethal? Quite. Okay. That was a good game we played there for a little while. Is every card a gosh darn vendetta? The mind games, I think it might have worked a little. At least we can pretend. He did attack in a spot where you might not be inclined to attack, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did your purposeful mind games impact the opponent? I mean, I can't answer that. I would guess greater than 0%. Oh, hidden meaning. Hidden meaning is for sure common and draftable, right? So I'm just saying, I think it's correct probably to attack there more often than not. I feel like if he was going to attack, he should have attacked first though. What did he do? I can't remember. We're also really low on cards in that spot, so like the thought is like maybe that's a reason not to attack. Like if we have a lot of cards, then you can assume your 2/4/4s won't be good enough, maybe. You attack first, play 2 minions. Yeah. So in the case of explosive, you should attack first. But maybe he was looking for a spell from the 4/4, but he did that second, right? I'm assuming. In the old days, I used to BM my opponents in some situations when I don't have lethal, but sending all face anyway and target face with the minion removal spell to hope he press a concede button. That's called pulling a Redbeard. That's a real Redbeard move. There's some of the better ones you can get early. Problem is things just don't really line up super well here for me. I don't know about that. I guess it's maybe it's better than floating mana, maybe? Run it in. 3-1. Yeah, Rush. Rush is pretty solid. If he didn't trade, I'd be down to shoot it. If he didn't trade, if this had 4 health, I'd be down to shoot it, but fortunately that's not the case. May just go conductivity into marked shot. Try to end up with a couple of hack the houses or something, maybe. So I can double trade here, and he will not get the trigger. I guess if that's the case, maybe I just shoot here and look for a different spell, and then I can trade. That's pretty nice. It's nice to get the 3-1 off. We could end up with a 1-drop here, which would mean what? We could fully clear, but I really don't want to overload. So just kind of like almost priced into that, but I think what we can do is try to roll a couple different spells and sort of end up trying to do better, maybe. 1 damage. So let's just kill the bigger minion. That worked for me before. Say well played and they concede. It's worked for me on stream twice, for sure. Definitely twice. What does this card do? It draws a Death Rattle minion. It might not have any. Darn. He might not have any mechs. Also darn. This high main might cause him some level of problem. And then what next turn? Maybe 3, 2, 2? That is a problem unless we can draw our freezing trap, right? Didn't draw a freezing trap. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is do this. I can whack first, but I could end up with a hex. So I think what I should do is play this. I think. Slide. I think I should play this. I think I should play this. Melomania next. I think we Melomania this turn, because if we get a hex, it's maybe not outright game winning, but it's certainly good and certainly like really close to game winning, right? Now, unfortunately, I don't have the ability to get a hex. I'm gonna play this here. And I've got the lifesteal. I am doing a big chunk of damage here, down to 25, and then we could maybe do this, right? We still have the remnant available. He's starting to freak out. Not freak out, he's starting to maybe be like, I gotta trade, right? Unfortunately, he clears pretty much our whole board. Okay, that's not great. Might have to do it here. What's the alternative? Play this, try to get a thing. 2, 6. This is an elemental. 1. I guess I'm always able to play this, I think. I think I can start here. Jam session. I think I just have to do this. Hope he doesn't roll too high here. And we still have good cards in our hand. Conductivity and piercing, yeah. I mean, ideally he didn't roll that. Ideally he didn't have that. I mean, we're at 11, so you're gonna be facing some
Symbol of death.
very powerful stuff. Unfortunately, this is not a deck that is winnable for us. This is not a matchup that is winnable for us, but, you know, we tried our best. And we lost. Sometimes that's how it goes. Sometimes it's just how it goes. Alright, how long have we been on? 3 hours?
Remnants of life.
Not bad, not bad. You can play it out, but that should only take a turn more. 11 is great, no biggie. Yeah. I think we had some really good games. I think we played really well. And, you know, as frustrating as Hearthstone can be, at least it's 11 wins before the Primus is dumping on you. Also, hey, what's up, Daniel? I thought you were Dr. Sauceman, sorry. Didn't realize you guys have the same color, both start with D, and almost the same length name, and also almost the same badges. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get scammed, let it be in the 11-win game, right? Because sometimes you're 2-2